A very good evening. This is Hugo Tan and welcome back to Patterns of Influence. And this week we're going to tackle an issue that has been raised by many of you. Of course, there are several popular topics, but based on the various feedback that I receive, most of you have concerns over how to manage your emotions, and more specifically, how does one manage stress? You see, all of you have stress in our lives, right? We have stress because of work, whether it's relationship, whether it's financial, or it's simply frustration between what you expect life to be and where you are at the moment. So all these things causes stress. And believe it or not, stress is one of the major factors why we are sometimes ill or why we sometimes are caught in disease. Because stress itself is defined as a physical, emotional pressure on our body that is a major cause for many of our illness. So look at this. Why do we have stress? And why is it that inappropriate amount of stress over time actually causes us to be ill? So this is a question that we want to tackle today in this video. So the first thing we must understand is back in the day of our ancestors, right? When we are living among the wilds, when we have to face with danger right and left. Let's say today, a tiger actually approached one of our ancestors, right? What kind of reaction and response, physical or emotional, that our ancestor would have? For one, what they will have is there will be an adrenaline rush, right? The heart will beat faster, the pupils will dilate, the muscles will tighten, the breathing might be more shallow. And why is all this happening? The digestive system will be stopped for the moment. This is what we call the fight or flight response, because facing such danger every day of their life causes them to have the need for such physical reaction. Because at that moment, they need more adrenaline rush, right? They need more energy to handle such danger, to fight back or to run away. That is what happens at the beginning of mankind. That is what happened with our ancestor. So how about ourselves in our daily life? Nowadays, we don't really have to face any wild animals on our corner of our homes. We don't have to go to hunt, at least for most of us. So if you think about the kind of stress that is needed to face a wild animal versus what we have today, it's crazy. Because what happens now is that we maintain the same amount of response despite dealing with things that are not really physically threatening. We are stressed because of the traffic congestion when we are going to work in the morning. We are stressed because maybe our colleague didn't compliment us on something. We are stressed because our boss did not acknowledge us. We are stressed because we have deadlines. We are stressed because of this or that. We are stressed because the model on the cover looks fitter than you. We are stressed because comparing to your neighbor who got a new car you don't have. So we are stressing for all kind of less than necessary things. In fact, there is a quote that I really like, right? And that quote says that, you know what? I have stressed over so many misfortunes in my life, and most of it that has never happened. Think about it. Let me repeat this. I have so many misfortunes in my life that most of it has never happened. This is exactly what is happening to most of us. Most of us are stressing over things that is imaginative, that doesn't really pose any life or death threats to us, but we are responding as if it is a live or die situation. Just imagine this. We are as if we are facing tigers, level threat, 30 times, 40 times, 100 times every single day. What do you think will happen to our body if we continuously put them under unnecessary stress day after day after day? Imagine this, the same situation. Heartbeat faster, your muscles are tightened, your breath becomes shallower, your digestive system are paused for the moment, your pupils dilate. Imagine this happening again and again, every hour of the day. Right? Some people are so stressed, they cannot even have a good sleep. And this is repeated day in, day out for 365 days a year. What kind of pressure do you think you are exerting on your body? And what kind of consequences do you think this will have? I'm not a medical doctor, and you don't need one to tell you what will happen. So let's think about what is it that is so fatal about stress. Is this one statement, right? Is the continuous unnecessary pressure on the body over time will cause disease. It will manifest in disease, one sort or another, right? Because we are putting our organs in so much pressure, our mind in so much pressure, and most of it is imaginative. So if this year you decided you want to reduce stress, what do we have in our system that could benefit you? So let me share with you today this formula over here, right? In order to increase your stress capacity, meaning your ability to take on greater stress, yet at the same time maintain a healthy physical and emotional well-being. How do we do that, right? So this is the first thing you must have. You must learn to test and break the barrier of your stress exposure. Increase stress exposure plus quality recovery time. And with this, you will have increased stress capacity, ability to handle stress. So what happens is that instead of avoiding stress, because we all need some sort of stress in our lives in order to push us further, in order to keep us alert. But we want stress that we are able to handle in a healthy way. We are able to ride on in a healthy way. So what happens is that we continuously challenge our body to take on higher stress. For some people, it just comes natural, right? And what happens is that this is what people are missing out. Because stress is first about what is your circumstances. Secondly, is what is your response. How do we respond to stress? And this is what is very important, which is quality recovery time, right? Are you taking power naps? Are you eating food that after you eat, you feel energetic, you feel vibrant, right? Are you doing enough anaerobic exercises? And all these are proven scientific methods that keep you alive, vibrant, feeling light. Are you doing all those things? It's very important to have this interval training. If you are a sports person, you would know that many of the sports person, they might have in their timetable, right? They have very intense workout. And after a workout, they always allow themselves enough recovery time. When you have this intensity, intervals with recovery, intensity, recovery, this will train your body to take on higher stress capacity. But what happens to most people? For example, in Japan, we have people who are dying from overworking. So what is it? Do they have low stress capacity? No, but they miss out something, which is they have intense stress, intense work, but with minimum recovery time in between. That is one of the core reasons why people cannot sustain. Because if you look back on what we just said, the problem with disease and why you are ill and things like that, one of the major factors is stress. What kind of stress? It's a kind of unnecessary stress, the kind of unnecessary pressure on your body over an elongated time, right? So if you have very intense, very stressful situation that you put yourself day in, day out without recovery time in between, you do not increase your stress capacity, you just die faster. So I hope this gets through to you. Stress exposure goes up, recovery times goes up, and stress capacity, the ability for you to manage it, actually goes up further. For some of you who have been following me for some time on social media, you know that I'm big on martial arts, right? Why is that so? Because in martial arts, when we are sparring, when we are play fighting, we are usually being put in a very high adrenaline in a very stressful situation, a situation that might be potentially threatful to us. So what happened when I train every single week or every other day, when I put myself in such dangerous situation over and over and over and over again? What happens? My stress exposure actually increased because I'm exposing myself to such dangerous situation until my body gets used to it. Oh, okay, it's the same situation again. I know how to handle it better this time. I will regulate my breathing. I will look into the opponent's eye. This is what I must do, things like that. So I'm getting used to what I'm not comfortable previously. So it's not about avoiding things that are uncomfortable. In fact, what we want to do is that to put ourselves in uncomfortable situation again and again, but to observe your physical and emotional reaction and have a game plan. So once we get comfortable with a certain milestone, remember we must always put in recovery time. We do not train daily or every hour or long hours in a day. You will yield better results with great recovery time in between. So that's what you want to take note of, right? And over time, you will increase your stress capacity because now you are getting comfortable with one level up and you put in recovery time. And now your body is getting used to it. They can take on it. Now you go one level higher again. Intense, recover, go back again and push to the next level. If you have been following me, you have been going through the visualization video. Same visualization technique we can use again and again many times, right? So you close your eyes and then you visualize yourself, right? You go to every single organ, you witness the healing there is in it. And for some people, let's say your heart is weak or your lungs is weak, right? You want to visualize going to your lungs. You see the kind of illness or damage there is there. And then you bring in the healing factor. You could imagine a jellyfish. You could imagine white blood cells, depending on what is your situation, right? You imagine this solution coming and eat up all the bad things, right? And you see your organs growing in wellness. You see your heart as well. You go to your lungs, you see your lungs as well. You go to the liver, you see your liver as well. And towards the end of the visualization exercise, as usual, you step into the person, the healthy person. You feel for yourself, how does it feel to have a healthy heart? How does it feel to have a healthy lung? How does it feel to be able to breathe, to walk with ease and confidence? And that is one of the method and visualization technique you can use again and again, so that you can train your body before you face a physical danger. You have trained yourself mentally. Just like people who are going for sports, they are taking visualization exercises too. In fact, one of the best golfers always train visualization. He's imagining how he's going to make that swing and how his swing is going to bring the ball right into the hole, right? So everything is created twice, once in your mind and once in the reality. So think about this, the visualization exercises. If you need some breathing exercises, that will be really helpful as well. Sometimes when you're visualizing, you can visualize yourself in different stressful situations. Stress exposure, right? Stress exposure. And you want to see how the best version of yourself would handle that situation with ease, with composure, right? How do they handle that? And step into your best self. With this, that sums up our sharing for stress this week. I hope you have higher stress capacity. As the saying goes, don't wish for an easier life. Wish for a stronger you. Take care and see you in 2020.